Artificial intelligence used to wait for us. We asked, it answered, but that age may be ending because the next generation of I may not wait for instructions one task at a time. It may plan, coordinate, and act across systems on its own. For most of the recent AI boom, the model was simple. A person asked. A machine answered. You opened a chatbot, you typed a prompt. The system generated text, images, code, summaries, or suggestions. It felt powerful, sometimes astonishing, but it still felt reactive. Machine waited. It did not move unless a human asked it to move. That may be changing. Artificial intelligence is entering a new phase, the age of AI agents. An AI agent is not just a model that produces output, it is a system designed to pursue an outcome. It can break a goal into steps, gather information, use tools, coordinate tasks, trigger actions across workflows, and in some cases, continue operating with limited supervision. That changes the role of AI completely. The old AI model was assistance. The new AI model may become delegated action. That is a much bigger shift because once intelligence moves from answering to acting, it stops being only an interface technology. It becomes an operational technology. This is why AI agents matter. Not because they sound futuristic, but because they change the basic relationship between people and machines. A chatbot helps you think. An agent may help you execute. A chatbot gives you options. An agent may start carrying out those options. A chatbot is a conversation. An agent is a process. That is the real threshold. The world is moving from AI as a reply system to AI as a workflow system. And once that happens, the implications spread quickly. Business administration, logistics, finance, research, customer operations, software management, knowledge work. Every domain built on repeatable digital processes becomes a candidate for agentic automation. That does not mean full autonomy everywhere overnight, but it does mean the shape of work begins to change. Because the most valuable thing about an agent is not that it says something intelligent, it is that it can do something useful. This is why the recent shift matters so much. Reuters reported that Alibaba launched Work, an agentic AI platform through its international commerce business, positioning it as a plug-and-play AI task force for small and medium-sized enterprises. That tells us something important. The market is no longer asking only for intelligence. It is asking for orchestrated action. Reuters won. Reuters also reported that Oracle is redesigning its Fusion software suite around agentic apps, so users request business outcomes rather than just operate software one step at a time. That is another signal. The enterprise world is starting to imagine AI not as a tool you click through, but as a system that helps complete the workflow itself. Reuters 2. These are not isolated product launches. They are early signs of a deeper transformation. The interface is changing. For decades, software was built around direct user action. You clicked, you entered data, you navigated menus, you moved step by step through a process. AI agents challenge that structure. Instead of asking the user to manually operate every part of the software, agentic systems aim to absorb more of the process itself. That means the next software revolution may not be a prettier interface. It may be a disappearing interface, a world in which the user states the outcome, and the system handles more of the operational path. That sounds efficient, and it may be, but it also raises deeper questions. Because once systems become capable of acting through workflows, the line between assistance and delegation becomes unstable. What exactly are humans handing over? A repetitive task? A process? A judgment call? A chain of decisions? A slice of responsibility? This is why the age of AI agents matters more than many people realize. It is not only a technical upgrade, it is a shift in where action lives. And action is power. The moment a system can act through real processes, it begins affecting institutions differently. An AI that drafts a memo is one thing. An AI that monitors inboxes, schedules meetings, updates documents, triggers procurement steps, flags exceptions, and routes decisions across departments is something else entirely. That is no longer just assistance. It is operational participation. This is why agentic AI feels closer to a labor story than a chatbot story. The question is no longer only whether machines can produce language. The question becomes whether machines can absorb workflow, and workflow is where modern organizations live. Approvals, tracking, routing, escalation, compliance, analysis, updating, sequencing, coordination. If enough of that can be delegated, the structure of white-collar work begins to shift. This is where the topic becomes bigger than software, because agents do not only promise efficiency, they promise compression of time, compression of management layers, compression of repetitive cognitive labor, compression of the distance between instruction and execution. That is why the age of AI agents could be economically disruptive. Not because every job disappears, but because more work becomes abstractable into multi-step systems that software can increasingly handle. This also changes what human value means. If machines move from answering toward acting, then human work is pushed upward into areas that are harder to delegate. Judgment, trust, context, responsibility, strategy, exception handling, conflict resolution. Meaning, this sounds familiar because every automation wave says something similar. But the agent era is different in one important way. It does not only automate physical repetition, it begins targeting procedural cognition. The kinds of digital tasks that once seemed too messy to automate because they required many small steps across systems. That is why agents are such a powerful concept. They are not just smarter chatbots. They are software that tries to behave more like a persistent operator. This is where risk enters the story, because once systems can act, error changes form. A bad chatbot answer is one kind of problem. A bad agent action is another. If an agent touches finance, files, logistics, access control, internal workflows, or business approvals, then permissions, oversight, and rollback become essential. This is one reason Reuters emphasized that Alibaba, the latest platform, uses explicit permissions for sensitive actions like financial transactions and private file access. The more agentic a system becomes, the more governance matters. That is the hidden tension of the agent age. The more useful the system becomes, the more dangerous it can become if badly governed. This means agentic I will likely grow unevenly. Not every workflow can be delegated at once. Not every company will trust the same level of autonomy. Not every institution will expose the same systems. Not every regulator will permit the same behaviors. But that does not weaken the trend. It only shapes the pace of adoption. The direction is still clear. AI is moving from reaction to action. And once that happens, the economic frontier changes. This also explains why agents matter geopolitically. If a country or bloc builds strong agentic systems on top of trusted infrastructure, it does not just gain software capability. It gains a new layer of operational leverage, because in the long run, the most powerful systems are not always the ones that answer the best. They are the ones that integrate most deeply into how work actually gets done. That is why the age of AI agents connects directly to the themes we have already traced across future systems media. Infrastructure matters because agents need compute. Sovereignty matters because agents touch real systems. Power matters because agents compress operational control. Human relevance matters because agents absorb more of the procedural layer of work. This is not just another AI feature cycle. It is the possible beginning of a new work architecture, a world in which software does not only support the worker, it becomes part of the working process itself. That may create huge gains. Speed, scale, coordination, lower friction, fewer repetitive tasks. But it will also force a harder question. When machines stop waiting and start acting, what remains distinctly human in the flow of work? That may become one of the central questions of this decade. Because the age of AI agents is not only about smarter software, it is about the first real systems that move from helping us think to helping us act. And once action begins to shift, the structure of institutions, labor, and digital power begins to shift with it. That is why the age of AI agents matters. Not because the future suddenly arrives all at once, but because one of the deepest assumptions of the software era is starting to break, the assumption that software waits. It may not wait much longer.